Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. Post-market wrap-up on this lovely day. We have a lot to talk about. Absolutely. Tuesday, August 19th, 2022. How about we start off with this thing that's supposed to happen tomorrow? Well, I'm talking about this, big inflation report, this number that they're going to float out that has no bearing on reality anyway. What are they trying to convince you? That food inflation is 9% here in the United States? Well, that's not true. Nothing they tell you is true. The unemployment numbers are fake. Everything is just nothing. Zero. Okay? It's an environment of lies to an extreme. And distractions and deceptions as well. A big game is being played. I want to talk more about that in just a little bit here. So yes, the market's waiting for the stupid dog shit, cat shit, bird shit number. I don't care what it is. To me, and to you, the only thing that matters here is watching action in the debt market. And that brings me to something else I want to talk about here. So we got this big warning here from Citigroup. Here's their take on what people need to look out for. A 50% sell-off with regard to the S&P 500. Yes, you heard right. Now, is it possible that the S&P 500 could fall 50% from its current level? Abso-freaking-lutely. More than that. I think it could fall 80%. But it's not the freaking dog shit stock market again, people. Citigroup, believe me, they know just as well as you do that the big one is going to start in the freaking freak show debt market, not the freaking dog shit stock market. I mean, look, it's just so crazy to me. If central banks continue to do what they're doing here, people, buying all the debt here. Yes, they have unlimited firepower at a cost, surging inflation, along with everything else that's going on under the table, on top of the table. Inflation Reduction Acts, $400 billion, billions of dollars going towards corporations here, with President Biden signing his China competition, whatever the freak it is, act. All these acts do is cause cash to be created out of thin air, which is massively inflationary. War money. I mean, you want to go on and on. You see, you're not supposed to know about these things, and there's a big distraction going on here, which we'll talk about in a moment. But again, you got Citigroup here warning about, the stock market cratering 50%, which is possible only if one thing occurs: a massive, uncontrolled sell-off in the debt market. And you and I are going to see it with our own eyes first. Let's look over at the debt market today, okay, before we even talk about the stock market, okay? Forget the market for a moment here. 10-year yield hovering around 2.8. Although it has no business being here in this environment, the market wants to see the 10-year yield lower, okay? Lower. And I sincerely do, the Fed is going to increase its efforts here to buy more debt, to keep rates suppressed, to push cash into the stock market in a free fall economy. So again, when you hear a warning like this, BlackRock also came out with a warning with regard to the market. So you got BlackRock warning on the market, you got Citigroup warning on the market. But why do they want you to focus on the stock market when they also know that the driver here is the biggest bubble in the history of the world? It's a freaking monster, and I'm talking about the debt market hyper bubble. Every other bubble connected to it, including the stock market, is directly linked to the debt market hyper bubble. And the only way that the stock market is going to fall 50, 60, 70, 80%. I'm referring to the broader market, the S&P 500. This is where you really should be looking, not at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is just 30 freaking companies, people. You should be looking at the broader market here. And the only way that's going to fall, like they're warning here, is if we get a meltdown in the debt market. Are we? Do they know something we don't know? Let me explain this to you. We're going to get a meltdown here in the debt market, and it's going to spin people's head around like the freaking Exorcist. You know the movie The Exorcist? That freaking thing? Yeah. Well, that's going to happen. But until that happens, we're not going to see a big sell-off here. Well, we're going to get what may be thought of as a normal corrective phase, 20-25%. Yeah, we're going to get that. But what's real around here anyway? The market is so twisted, so distorted. How many times have I said to you, and you know this to be true, there's not an asset today, not one single asset that has a real price discovery mechanism behind it. How can there be when you have central banks in here buying it all, desperate to fulfill their end game to be the lenders and buyers of last freaking resort here, people? Let me explain something else to you real quick here. What do we have going on? Well, we're being told that our economy is booming. Ex-President Bidenstein, Frankenstein, Mummy Man, whatever the freak he is, our economy is really, really strong. If that's the case, then why did he have to sign a China competition bill today, sending tens of billions of dollars to tech companies? Oh, because maybe when our economy is not so strong and he has to fulfill the corporate agenda here. Where is the outcry? There is no outcry. It's unbelievable to me. You got this Inflation Reduction Act, nearly $400 billion. Pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. Nearly $400 billion that they're going to spend that's going to apparently reduce inflation. Well, why not make it $1 trillion? Why not make it $2 or $3, $4 trillion that will really, really lower inflation, right? How about no? Okay, but that's going on right now. You have this China competition bill just got signed by our imbecile president here. You got tens of billions of dollars getting funneled to the Ukraine to buy weapons here. And what do they throw in your freaking face? They raid President Trump's Mar-A-Lago estate. So you're going to focus on that instead of all this other shit that's going on. How many people writing to me today? Greg, when are you going to talk about the raid, the FBI raid? Because you should know what this is already. How many times have I told you deceptions, distractions, and nothing is what it seems to be? What are they going to do? They're going to get people all riled up, all angry, all focused on one thing. And that's how you control their minds. It's a mind control mechanism. People, wake the freak up. Look over here. Don't look here. How do you not know that? People that are following my blog for years, you're probably laughing. You're laughing. I'm laughing. Okay? It is not what it seems to be here. Okay? This is, and the timing of this, really, honestly? Oh man, I tell you. So yes, that's what's actually going on. It's always the same story. Keep the people divided, keep them angry, get them to focus on something, and they become zombified. They don't care about hundreds of billions or trillions of dollars being sent here and there and everything else that's going along with it. Just get them all riled up about one thing, and that's all they're going to care about. It's called mind control. It's a psyop. Okay, wake up. Anyway, with that said, let's go look over at the freak show stock market that we're getting warnings that we're going to fall 50%. Yes, 50%, absolutely. 80%, absolutely. But it's not going to start in the stock market. Stop it, okay? Stop paying attention to the driver of the market. And all of you know what I'm talking about, this freaking debt market hyperbubble, and they're not done. I don't believe central banks are done. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, stocks finished lower today. All anticipation, not much. The NASDAQ took the biggest hit here on this anticipation of this big dog shit, fake, fabricated inflation report. Oh yeah, but let's focus on that. Okay. No, you know, like I said, it doesn't matter anyway what this number is. If central banks are going to continue to keep rates suppressed and rob the middle class blind, well, you know, no one's going to, where are the protests about that? That's been going on since the last meltdown here. People are destitute, homelessness exploding here. People can't make ends meet, real wages cratering. People borrowing beyond their eyeballs here, burying themselves in debt, becoming slaves to the system. Where is the outrage? Oh, it's at Mar-A-Lago. That's where the outrage is. The people are retarded, okay? That's what they are. And they're sheep, so easily distracted. Look Look over here. Don't look at all this other shit we're doing. No. Focus over there. Make it up. Make any of this shit up. Anyway, just to go back to the market real quick. Gold and silver didn't do too much today. Crypto's under some pressure, around 23 for Bitcoin. Still over 21. Next week, by this time next week, if Bitcoin remains over 21, I'm going to start buying. I'm telling you right now. I'm not saying I'm going all in here. Okay, what I'll do is I'll start dabbling in it. I'll start buying a little bit, hold on, see where it goes. If it goes the wrong way, sell it, whatever. If it goes the right way, I'll keep adding to it. But, look, I am not a guy who calls tops and or bottoms in anything, but we've been hovering at this level for quite a while. And it would take a lot, in my view, to have it sell off further. We'll talk about that when it comes up here. What you should be doing, people, is paying attention to things that really matter. The things that they don't want you to pay attention to. When they show you something like Mar-A-Lago here, realize you're being duped. There's something else going on that you need to be focusing on. People don't care. People will sit back and let themselves be destroyed because they want to focus on one damn freaking thing. Many years ago, I got my private pilot's license. I haven't flown in years. Anyway, my flight instructor told me about an incident that had occurred on a passenger airliner years and years ago. While the pilots of the aircraft were focusing on one red light on the dashboard, they weren't paying attention to their surrounding, and the plane crashed into a mountain and killed everybody. Okay, same kind of scenario. Okay, stop focusing on this one little thing here when there's so much else going on around you. You understand? I think you do. I hope you do, at least here, people. All right, look, you understand what's going on, and I want to hear from you. All right, do you realize what's happening yet again? Do you see the deceptions, the distractions, the look here, the don't look here? I've been telling you about this stuff for freaking years, and here it is in your freaking face. Oh, but you pay attention to that and forget everything else that they're doing to you, because that's what really, really matters. I can't believe people still believe in a dead system. A system that no longer exists anymore in any way, shape, or form. Your vote don't matter. Did you learn anything yet from this? If your vote mattered at all, you wouldn't be allowed to vote. But people still, they hold on. They hold on to that hope. But meanwhile, the industry's doing anything about it? No. They just get angry, they get distracted, and they get pissed off, and they talk about it at the dinner table and give themselves ulcers. That's what they do. Just as it's designed to do. It's a freaking psyop. All right. I'm out of here. Love you a lot. See you in the morning.